Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League. And I'm joined in the booth by Speed. Man, we just had a banger of a series, a 7-game screamer, and my melon's on top. But now we are going right into some more action, and this time we're going to the Chally League, where we got Gryphons versus Snowstorm. This Snowstorm team able to beat out the 2 seed Ascension they're the 7 seed. They're here in the semifinals. Now they're trying to make another upset on this Gryphons team. Speed, we got to make this one quick, man. I want to ask how you're doing, but I also want to ask, who you got taking the series.
I mean, obviously, I'm doing well. I just casted that banger of a match, as you stated. But I think in this one, I got to roll with Melee. Melee and J Rod. They're a dynamic duo. I casted their last match. They looked great together. And Kiwi just doing the little things to really holds this team together. And I think that's just going to be a little too much for this Snowstorm team to handle as we are underway here. And just seeing a little bit of back and forth midfield play so far here, Flip, to start this one off.
Yeah, actually, we casted that Griffins match, and man, I remember J-Rod being the difference maker. Obviously, Melee had so many assists as well, but Crates being just a little bit bigger this time. He said, put on some weight, buddy, as he gets an insane 50 here, and 33 seconds in, already have a 1-goal lead for Snowstorm.
Crates, no boost, but puts himself in the best possible position to win that 50, and he does, and he's going to put, like you said, put Snowstorm up early in this series. And I think Crates might really be the difference maker for the Snowstorm team. Obviously, iTrots, really solid player. Polash, really aggressive player. But I think it's really going to fall down to, between Crates and Kiwi on what one of this dynamic duo and their supporting piece is going to support their dynamic duo better.
Yeah, I will say, I feel like so far, Snowstorm, they've had, a couple they had that 1 goal, but other than that, it's really not been that many chances for them. It's been a lot of Gryphons on this offensive end, but still, no real threatening shots. Actually, 0 shots coming out from the Gryphons so far, but still, the pressure is in their half. However, that's a great clear there. Kiwi doesn't get the touch, and Crates with the shot. That one getting it saved away by J-Rod, and that ball gets launched high as now Trots with a great 50, but Kiwi already there. A great 50 again, though, from Trots as Melee now. Touchdown to the corner, kind of awkward Polish. Gonna get a nice touch but that one gonna get cleared away by Kiwi, and Trots with 1 touch and gets the boost. No, he doesn't. That one gets stolen away from him. He now, oh my gosh, he does. My screen's glitched. He did get the boost. I couldn't tell you what's happening anymore, but Polash is able to get the clear over to Kiwi. Creates is up in the air, but that touch straight to J-Rod with the shot. Oh my goodness, there's some bumps on the back end, and the physicality allows J-Rod the open net.
And again, we've seen Crates, the support player here, get the early goal, and then we see Kiwi getting his bump, allowing J-Rod to just have to put the ball on net, and able to secure the tying goal fairly early on here. We still got 3 minutes of gameplay, and we're back squared away at even.
And you know what? This is just the early signs of a banger series. Strot's gonna have to put a banger shot on target there, not gonna get that one as Polash now trying to get a touch, which is gonna leave it for Crates. Crates is now gonna pass it down to Trots. Trots couldn't get the dunk on Kiwi on target, at least, as Polash had to dodge a demo as Kiwi's able to get a long clear. Crates already back though. That one goes high and long. Can he get the follow? That one's gonna hit the corner. J-Rod with a nice read, but a good 50 there. Polash, a good 50 as well. That one super awkward for J-Rod. Polash up again. That one off the backboard. Crates, he's up, but Kiwi with a nice beat and saving his team there as Trots with a good touch. That one over to Melee, as now Melee has an opportunity, trying to get a beat on one, but just not able to get it to a teammate, at least, as J-Rod now trying to make an opportunity happen. That one gonna be bouncing down. Kiwi with a nice touch. Trots though with a little bit of time. Melee, he's gonna be the first one there and gets a nice touch, but stops Trots from getting the air dribble, but he still has boost and still has control a little bit. That one gonna hit the back wall. Kiwi with a nice touch, but it only goes so far as now Polash hitting that one to the corner. Crates has an opportunity, gets the dunk, but Melee with a great 50 there, and Trots has to get it clear down, and he does get a great one. J-Rod taking this one to his own corner. Crates already on top of him immediately, and Snowstorm, they just are not giving this Gryphons team any time. There's always somebody challenging for this Snowstorm team.
Yeah, they've been quick to the ball. They've been really locking down that midfield, like you said, not giving any time for the Gryphons to get anything going. But as we say that, J-Rod's going to try to make something happen. He's going to send that one off and wide, and then Kiwi's gonna send that one off the backboard to Mealy, who's gonna capitalize. They may have not have gotten a lot of scoring opportunities, but when they have gotten them, they've made them count.
And that's what matters, you know, just being able to put the ball actually in the back of the nets is the biggest difference maker. And the Gryphons defense has held on well to allow them to have this one goal lead now. Trot's taking the boost, gonna elect to go for the ball now as well. Gonna leave that one for Crates. Crates able to pop it high, but J-Rod already on top of that one. And good patience and good, like I would say, there's a calmness almost from this Gryphons team. And you know, it's game one already, Speed, and I feel like, you know, game one's usually whenever some chaos happens, you know, teams panic a little bit. I saw some double commits from Snowstorm, and I've seen a lot of good, just, you know, stillness on the side of Gryphons. Is, oh my goodness, Polash just able to get a touch there. Is now Mealy already up. Trot's trying to get the 50 as well. And with 45 seconds left, we got to see a play come out from Snowstorm. Trot's trying to make that happen. He's going to leave it for Crates. That's a great shot. Kiwi just not able to get there. 38 seconds left, and Crates ties it up.
Kiwi a little hesitant here, elects not to challenge right away, and he lets Trots and Crates, both who didn't have a lot of boost, just manipulate the flow of play there and allowing them to get that equalizer here with only 40 seconds to go. I bet Kiwi, now watching that replay, seeing that they had low boost, had really wished he had challenged that one sooner.
Yeah, now, you know, with the hindsight done, now they just got to make sure they don't get scored on again. But that's a great victory from Trots, and Polash is there. A little help from the Gryphons as well to put that one away. But Trots with an insane 50 here on Mealy, and Polash just in the right spot.
Yeah, Trots keeping it low, knowing that he needed the leverage of keeping that ball low to let his team have a chance. Great 50, and gets a little help. Kiwi being a little overzealous, trying to race back and hit that off of his backboard, and he's accidentally going to just put that one in. As now, final 20 seconds here. Can the Gryphons tie this one up and force an overtime?
Kiwi not going to have the touch there, so it's going to be Mealy in the corner trying to make a play happen. That one gets popped out wide. Crates doesn't get the touch, but he actually left it for Trots. Trots is going for the sidewall double. Not going to happen there as Crates now can run out a lot of this clock. This one going to hit 0 seconds now. The ball just has to hit the ground, and boom, there it is. Snowstorm going to take game number 1. Gryphons had the lead there, and a great play from Crates, a great shot from Crates to tie it up, and then a great 50 from Trots, and a finish from Polash to put this game away. 3-2 victory. Snowstorm able to come back.
Yeah, and you know, that's something that we didn't really see in that last series. The Gryphons kind of, you know, folding. I think they were being a little too patient. They were being a little too soft once they had that lead. Really just trying to, you know, play the defensive game, but that's not their play style. They're best defensively when they're still being super aggressive, when they're still trying to make those plays, when they're still trying to shove the ball into the net. And I just don't think they have it in them to necessarily be that soft, you know, hunkered down defensive team like that. So we'll see if they can, you know, get that mindset if they get the lead again, to really just continue to try to force the ball into the back of the Snowstorm net like we've seen them do time and time again. But yeah, Flip, you know, I definitely think that the Snowstorm is trying to come out and prove something here.
Snowstorm, the 7th seed. You know, we've seen some insane low seed runs. This one, honestly, a lot of people didn't have a lot of faith in the Snowstorm team, to be honest. You know, like, they thought they were good, didn't know how good, but they are showing up, showing out right now. As now they gotta make 3 more games. They need to win 3 more, and they are on to the grand finals. As now it's gonna be this Gryphons starting a passing play, as it was Mealy to Kiwi, back to Mealy, back to Kiwi, and Mealy gonna pop that one up. J-Rod, man, he is last back, and you know, it's a pretty safe man to have last, but Kiwi's going to try to get a pass over to him. Mealy now, it's not any boost to work with. Polash doesn't have any boost either, so instead of going for the demo, Crates was looking for the pass, and a miscommunication there. It was a 2-on-1 opportunity. That's the kind of thing Snowstorm, you know, any team, you really want to convert those chances.
Yeah, 2v1s, it's hard to see those 2v1 chances just slip out of your fingertips, as, you know, was definitely not executed to the way that Snowstorm would have liked, but it works in the Gryphons' favor. It does keep them in this game. We're now a minute in, but we haven't really seen the Gryphons get out of their defensive half here, as Snowstorm just continue to, right where they left off, just put the pressure on this Gryphons defense.
Yeah, it is an absolute hailstorm of shots onto this net as now J-Rod trying to get the clear there. Is finally looking like an opportunity to get out. No, Krates is already there. A good touch there from Mealy, but he has 0 boost to work with, and so Trotz already turned on top of it. And Kiwi and J-Rod combined in front of their own net to try to get that ball cleared, and it's still only as far as their corner. Krates now looking for the shot. A great 50 there from Mealy, and a great second 50 as well. He's going to leave that one as Trotz is going to get a touch over Kiwi's head. Kiwi kind of awkward now, has to take control, and Trotz already on top of him again. Guess who's there? It's Polash off the backboard. Krates going to be there for the shot. Great play and great pressure from Snowstorm, and that one was just a difference in speed. They were just that much quicker.
And the Gryphons kind of sold there. Mealy getting 2 big dunks initially in the midfield, but no one there to follow up his second dunk. And that's what allowed Snowstorm to collect the ball and then just get 2 beautiful shots and passes off the backboard and hammers in their first goal in this one and takes the lead. We're just not seeing a very aggressive Gryphons team, and that's kind of been their bread and butter, just making teams so awkward, but it doesn't matter. Again, we're seeing them just be too patient, and Krates is gonna find a top bins goal here.
Yeah, Krates with an absolute snipe. Top left, I mean, like, Kiwi didn't have any boost to work with, and I feel like that might be a theme you're going to see more and more. Like, it's this Snowstorm team just boost starving the heck out of this Gryphons team, but so far it has been all Snowstorm. Literally, like, it feels like they've been on the Gryphons half this entire game. J-Rod trying to make a play happen here. It's going to be over to Kiwi. Kiwi gonna not get past Trotz. And that ball does get pinch clear as well. Polash just instantly challenging. Mealy gets it over him, but guess what? No boost to work with, so all you can do is just kind of drive at the ball and jump at it. Gets a good 50 on one. Krates able to get the 50 past him there, though, but some good bumps come through. Kiwi taking his time. I think if he just went fast, that would have been a goal, but instead, it's going to be a counterattack for Trotz. Kiwi is there, though, and so going to be a little bit of time bought for his team. Now, Krates off the ceiling. It's going to be Kiwi off the ceiling, though. He's going to get that touch. Trotz not going to have the touch. Oh, he is. A great touch. That one going to get just past Mealy as Kiwi now turns on it. Gets a nice pop. Trying to go for the air dribble, but Polash already on top of him, and Gryphons just have no room to work with, but Krates going to have to make a great save, and he does. Mealy now going to try to get one touch, trying to get a follow-up, but Trotz are on the backboard. Going to get a long clear. That one on target. Kiwi has to make a save, and a good bump there to buy Kiwi some space. Kiwi gets a flick, but now he's going to go for the Divo. Polash says, hey, all right, fine, I'll take the ball then. Thank you very much. And J-Rod gets absolutely dunked by him. Is that one going to be on target? Kiwi not going to let it happen like that. Mealy with one touch, but Trotz with all the time in the world as he puts it back to his own corner. Minute and 40 seconds remaining. The Gryphons have turned on the offense, and there it is. The infield pass that, honestly, we haven't seen that much of, but a great pass here from Kiwi.
Yeah, beautiful pass from Kiwi. Doesn't have the boost to put a really hard shot on, but he knows Mealy's middle. But that started there by J-Rod pressuring Trotz early with a pre-jump to the wall and gets that dunk that finds Kiwi underneath him. So again, them playing faster, them playing more aggressive is how they like to play, and it really puts these teams on the back foot. They don't expect how quick that this Gryphon team can get on you like that, especially when you least expect it, and that's just their bread and butter, and we see it work out for them there.
Yeah, and J-Rod also, it could just be a sniper. Sometimes that one was a great shot, but Trotz had that net defended. 4 saves for him now as Mealy with one touch. That one's going to go over to Kiwi. Kiwi going to hit this one off the corner. That one's going to go back mid. Mealy's there, but guess what? So is Polash. J-Rod jumping at air. Gonna jump at air one more time, why not? As Mealy with a 0 boost challenge, so Kiwi's gonna have a touch there. That one gonna go to the Snowstorm corner as Trotz could not get a great touch on it. That ball just bouncing in front of his net. J-Rod with that insane pre-jump as Mealy's now gonna be there. No shot coming through, and all the Snowstorm was racing back for it as well. J-Rod now pops that ball high. He has some boost to work with. Is he looking for a player? He is, but the back wall is a safe place for Krates to be, but now it's still Gryphons pressure. Mealy gonna look for J-Rod. He's gonna pass it down. J-Rod's there. A great pass, a great shot, and they have tied this game up.
Yeah, Krates, not a lot of boost. Trying to send it to the corner, but Mealy reading his one play that Krates had. He was there. He was ready. Beats Trotz again on the backboard and just leaves Polash a sitting duck as he gets the beautiful pass out to J-Rod, storming on for that one to tie this one up as we're now in the final 24 seconds. Gryphons starting to get more aggressive. Can they keep it rolling? Will they find their third goal here and even this series up, or is Snowstorm going to be able to respond and take their second game in this series?
It's a great save there from Krates, but still more pressure for Gryphons. Trots backwards, able to make an epic save there as J-Rod now trying to continue the pressure. Melee with some boost. Polash with a great 50. Kiwi last man. He goes anyway. There's 0 seconds on the clock. J-Rod going to try to keep it alive. So is Krates. That one going to float towards the Snowstorm net. And they're not going to let it get any farther than that. We have overtime here. Speed. Snowstorm looking to go up 2-0. Set a statement here. It'll be the first team to go up 2-0 in the semifinals, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I'm mistaken. That it's usually has been a 1-1 kind of action for us. Let's see if that trend continues here, as Melee couldn't get a touch, but Trots does. As Trots still able to get another 50. Melee backflips on that one. Krate's kind of awkward now. J-Rod gonna go for an air dribble, a slow one, but that ball still 50 beautifully. Polash able to get a touch, and now that one goes high and wide, but Krates is already there. Now Polash with the shot, not going to get the touch on it. Kiwi probably would have had the block as well. J-Rod trying to get the clear. J-Rod gets a beat on Trots, but Trots able to get the dunk. Kiwi with some boost. Kiwi going to get it around Krates. J-Rod not going to turn on that one, and Polash is going to try to get the clear, but it's only as far as Krates, apparently. Krates cutting across the field with a great touch. Now he's going to look for a shot. That one is going to be on target. Melee with the save in a minute in. It's been a lot of back and forth. Snowstorm seems to have the better opportunities, like this one right here. Polash able to put it away. No, it's a great save from Melee, and he gets there again. Krates, he's there though for the shot. Oh my goodness. Melee had the save of his life, but it just wasn't enough.
Melee had the save of his life, and then he had no choice but to dive at that one, as the ball was still, as you could see it was still trickling its way in, so he couldn't have taken his time to clear that. He had to jump at it with no boost, wasn't quite able to get it around the Snowstorm. Krates coming in, reading right where he was going to pass it. He gets his hat trick, has 3 saves, and Krates was just all over this field, and a huge goal there from Krates, and Krates is looking great in this series.
Yeah, 3 assists from Polash as well. He had 2 saves, and 5 saves coming out from Melee, 5 saves coming out from Trots. Both these teams, I feel like, are playing at a very high level. It's just Snowstorm. I feel like they're able to capitalize on the mistakes defensively that the Gryphons are making. I think they're also forcing a lot of those mistakes. And I think that's a huge... in Game 1, I think Trots was really the disruptor. It felt like he was cutting a lot and just kind of just being everywhere. On that one, it was Krates getting a cut in the midfield that allowed them to start that pressure, and it really did turn that whole sequence around. So we're seeing Gryphons can be a little shaky sometimes on the defensive end, but I mean, both these teams, their flaws are covered up by a lot of great points, as well as now Trots gonna try to put a shot on target. That one gonna go wide, and Polash able to put that one away. Krates was playing some disruptor right there, and just not a great touch from Melee, and no boost as well, and that's just a bad recipe right there.
Yeah, Krates leading off right where he starting off right where he left off from game number 2, as just being aggressive, just getting in the face of the Gryphons, not allowing them to make the touches and the plays that they want. As we saw, he went for that bump, wasn't able to quite get it, but was just enough to make some mayhem happen. As now Polash sends that one to the corner here, as just the Snowstorm team has looked so good, and like you said, they're just forcing Gryphons to make touches and plays that they're not necessarily wanting to make.
Yeah, and I feel like every time it's a player with 0 boost that's like just instant challenging. This Gryphons team, this time it's gonna be Trots off the backboard, and guess who's there? A player with no boost, and it's gonna be Polash. They don't care about boost speed. Why do you need boost when you know you can score?
Yeah, and that's again a beautiful pass coming out from Krates. Trots, he's there, he's ready. He elects to put that one wide, knowing that there's 2 defenders in net, and knows that Polash is going to be in behind him. And like you said, you don't need a lot of boost if you're making the right plays and you're able to really they're predicting where and what Gryphons are trying to do, and they're just beating them smartly. And they don't need a lot of boost. They don't need all these, demos and bumps. Yes, it's helped them, but they're really just doing it based off of straight, pure will right now.
Yeah, and guess what? That will has gotten them 2 wins, gotten up 2-0 here in the series and in this game. With a minute and a half gone, Trots trying to put a third one on. That one almost gets dumped. He almost had a nasty clip onto Kiwi, but instead It's going to be an attempt here for the Gryphons. I thought Polash was going to dunk his own teammate there, but a bump on the back end from Melee, and that's one thing I think we've seen work for the Gryphons, the bumps. I haven't seen a whole lot of them. Kiwi gets a demo there as J-Rod, he's bump hunting now as Melee going to try to put a shot on target. Melee, that one just going to hit the post and go off, but it's still a great chance, and Kiwi's putting it away. Melee with the corner read, and cuts this lead in half.
Yeah, and that is huge for the Gryphons going off the post. Thankfully, it bounces in a spot where Kiwi's able to get to it, and he has plenty of shooting lanes, and he's going to elect to go right down the middle, in the middle of two Gryphons defenders sitting in there, but he just hits it so hard and so clean that they weren't able to get to it, and is now this lead has been cut back down to only 1 goal here, and gives the Gryphons a little bit of life here in game number 3.
Oh, Melee. He said, you know what, I missed the corner read, but I'll slot this one up, right? Why don't ya? A great shot here. Polash just didn't get the touch. If he got that touch, it's going the other way, Speed. But instead, we got a tied ball game and 2 minutes, 45 seconds remaining. I mean, hey, I don't know what's going to happen next. Both these teams, they can really turn it on whenever you need them to.
Yeah, they can, and it's about time that we're starting to see the Gryphons really turn it on. We've seen a little bit of life from them in the first 2 games, but they haven't been able to sustain it, and now it's a great sign that they went down 2 goals early, and then they were still able to find the sustainability to fight back, fight through, and still put in 2 answer goals and bring this game right back.
Yeah, and a great touch there from Krates prevents, more pressure here from the Gryphons, although it comes anyway, because guess who's there? It's Melee, but Trots now has an opportunity to get a nice dunk, and he does. Krates already up in the air. Kiwi gets a touch around him. Polash doesn't have any boost to jump for that one, so J-Rod puts it to the side. Melee now with a long clear. Trots committed on that one, so Polash, last man back. Krates is also in net. Polash gets a touch around one. J-Rod also committing, and Polash gets a nice pinch around him. Kiwi, kind of awkward. This is going to be an awkward bounce for him. Gets a favorable bounce, is that one. Bounces kind of straight to him. A good touch there from Trots, though, and Trots is going to get a beat on J-Rod as well. Melee in net, though, with a nice save, and Melee now opportunity gets a nice air dribble, but Polash was already on top of it, and that's what I want to see more out of Snowstorm. I feel like they kind of let off the gas with these instant chows, almost let off the gas and own goal there for a second, but Trots able to get the clear. J-Rod with the pass down, and Polash with a touch. Kiwi kind of awkward. Krates already on top of him, though. Melee back out to J-Rod. J-Rod back over to Melee. Trots in the way, though, and J-Rod now with a little bit of boost, a little bit of time, a good demo. Oh, but Krates able to make the great save, and that one gonna go high. Melee with a nice touch. That one's down to Kiwi. Trots able to get the nice touch off the backboard. J-Rod going for the double, and he doesn't have the touch. 3 players from Snowstorm were there. Somebody had to touch that ball, and they're able to get it cleared, but it's still more pressure for the Gryphons. Kiwi couldn't get there before Krates does. Now Polash off the wall. J-Rod has the touch, and that one gonna go to the Snowstorm corner where Melee tries to put it back towards nets. That one touched high. Polash can get back to it. Kiwi kind of awkward. J-Rod gonna get to it. That one off the sidewall. Trots gonna elect to take that one. Hits that one to the corner. Melee waiting. Krates, he was waiting for that touch, though, as trying to get that ball back mid. Gets a nice dunk. Polash trying to get a touch on that one. Doesn't. Is now Trots and J-Rod rushing back. Polash able to get in the way, though. A great challenge there from him as Krates now gets that 50 over Melee. Melee with one touch. Trots gets it over him. No, Melee with the backflip save. J-Rod already up in the air. That ball launched from Trots as Krates tries to make a turn on it. Could be a counterattack opportunity. Polash not too far. Just able to get back in time with 10 seconds remaining. J-Rod tries to make this play happen. That one gonna fall down to Krates. Krates with a nice 50, but Kiwi is gonna win that one. Kiwi gets a beat on another. Kiwi with the pass over to Melee, but it's gonna be Polash with the save, and we have overtime.
And this series is starting to heat up. We're starting to see the Gryphons really heat up. They're mounting a lot of offensive pressure. The Snowstorm defense has been rock solid since they let up those 2 quick answers after they had the lead here, and we're just seeing both teams just trading blows right now.
Trading blows, but who will deliver that knockout punch? Can the Gryphons prevent going down 0-3? That would be tragic in playoffs, I promise. As now Polash getting that one cleared, and Kiwi's gonna be there, but Polash with a nice dunk, and Melee kind of awkward, does get bumped, still able to make a touch, though. Krates not a lot of boost, 0 boost. In fact, Melee takes it from him. Trots gets bumped a little bit, still trying to get back to that one. That one's bouncing high, gonna be awkward for Polash, but he's able to get the clear. Kiwi waiting really far back here, doesn't have any boost now. Trying to get a touch, trying to get this one mid. A good bump there, making him awkward, but able to get in a position where he's able to get a pass. Still, no one there in the midfield. J-Rod, he doesn't receive the pass from Mealy, so Trotz is going to say, I'll take that one, and clears that one long. That one falling back to him. He tried to pass it over to Krates. Krates went for the demo. A little miscommunication there, and that one could be in a dagger, as Krates is not able to get the touch. Mealy able to put it away! Barely! But guess what? Gryphons prevent going down 0-3. A great clear here from J-Rod, and Mealy just in the right spot.
Yeah, and that's super, super lucky for Mealy that Krates misses that touch. He kind of has to go for it. That ball is so close to being on that it's one of those things. If you don't go for it and that goes in, then that's so much more demoralizing than just saying, hey, I tried my best. I went out for it. And then Mealy, he forced Mealy to make a great play. That ball was wide. Mealy with a great catch with no boost and just, I don't even know how he catches that with his butt, but he's able to catch that with his butt and find the back of the net. And he's going to give Gryphons their first win in this series. And they battled back. They showed a lot of resilience here in this game number 3. And we have officially got ourselves a series here.
I'm glad because if Snowstorm were able to take this game as well, like another overtime win, and like that's just it feels bad. Gryphons though, they're hanging on, and honestly, being honest here, I think this Gryphons team, whenever they are playing aggressive, whenever they have really good like midfield pressure, I think they are the better team. It's just the Snowstorm team, I feel like they are very solid in net, and it's like if they have this solid defense, they're really hard to break through. So I'm kind of seeing two different sides here, Speed, and I do think that, on offense, you have Krates and Polash and Nitrots, who all are honestly really good offensive players as well. So I feel like the Snowstorm team really can put it to them, but this Gryphons team, if they get going, I think they are just an unstoppable force. Trots, though, trying to be a stoppable force as that one gets saved as Polash, he tried to put a shot on target as well, and Mealy with no boost now, gonna try to get it clear. It's been an interesting series so far, but I will say it's been entertaining nonetheless. These teams have been great, and I didn't make my prediction earlier. Speed, you said you had Gryphons, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna take Snowstorm here as Snowstorm try to put on another shot. Obviously they're up 2-1 right now. I think this one's going 7 though. I just got the feeling it looks like both these teams are just so neck and neck, and we got 40 seconds into this game. Both these teams looking for opportunities. J-Rod's going to take that opportunity right there, and Cray says, I'll do you one save better. Trotz now putting that one up to Polash. Polash just going to take the shot. That one's kind of open. Trotz is going to help him put it away. A great counterattack opportunity, and that's not something we've seen the Gryphons give up a whole lot.
No, and that's a sign right there from the Gryphons that, yeah, they were honestly being a little too aggressive as Mealy was pushed up quite a bit up the field, way over the midfield point as third man, and unable to get that read and get back to that one. Snowstorm gonna find the early goal here, but if there's any kind of sign. Oh, we had to see if Polish was going to hit that one. He's going to hit that one off the crossbar. As this one's still going to be in a dangerous spot as Trot's trying to get that touch. But I was trying to say here is that, you can't be too down here if you're a Gryphons fan, as they did just, survive and come back and win that game number 3 after being down 2 goals early.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they were down 2 goals early in game number 2, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that one, but I feel like they definitely had the offensive firepower to come back from it, and a little help never hurt. But Polash actually said, I'll put that one to the side just a little bit. Post helps him out there. On Forbidden Symbol, I'm just saying that's in the net. That's all I'm saying. Is Krates gonna get a save on that one. Trotz gets demo by Kiwi, and so J-Rod's gonna be able to put that ball up high. Trotz able to make the save to the corner still. J-Rod gonna be there. Trotz now on the back wall has to get the clear, and he does. Any follow-up coming through, it's gonna be Trotz himself again getting the beat on Kiwi, but Mealy all the way back now, sending that ball long, and the deeper third man not allowing any counterattacks like that first goal. Now, can they break through the Snowstorm defense, which sometimes just seems almost impenetrable, as Krates with 0 boost, trying to get that ball, just one more touch on it, but instead it's going to be Polash who pops that ball high. Mealy's really awkward. Trotz, can he get the shot on target? He does. I don't know how that goes in.
Yeah, I don't even know. Polash just soft touch, puts it up and over, and J-Rod just, I don't know if you expected Mealy to get that, but I'm sure Mealy had comped he was low on boost, so, J-Rod should have been quick trying to get to that ball. He wasn't. They're allowing Snowstorm again to just get the plays that they want. They're not being super aggressive. And that's partly because Snowstorm's getting back into this groove where they're really starting to starve this Gryphons team, especially when they're sitting on their back line.
Sitting on that back line, zero boost. It's just not a good combo. And I feel like it's the recipe that the Snowstorm boys are trying to cook up here, and that one not going to be a good touch from J-Rod. I think Trotz says, "Thank you very much. I'll take that hat and throw a trick with it." As a good touch from Trotz, but honestly, he just gets gift wrapped that one from J-Rod.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you know, Mealy trying to get out and get that squishy, but Trot's not having boost. He didn't put it high. He also saw him coming in for that squishy save, so he sticks it low. He does get his hat trick, and now it's a tough task for the Gryphons, but J-Rod gonna get his own goal here with a little bit of help from a misplay here coming out from Snowstorm.
Yeah, Polash definitely should have had a touch. Actually, he did get a touch. You know what? Shout out Polash. It was a nice own goal. But J Rod, he gave away a goal. He's just doing some paying it forward. He got that goal right back. Why not? Is 2 minutes remaining, 2 goals down. I've seen worse situations that this Griffiths team can be in. That's all I'm saying. Is this one gonna be falling down now? Oh my goodness, Struts, the fat man himself. I don't know how much you weigh, Struts, but you could be the star of my 600-pound life. Oh my goodness, that man. Absolutely huge on the goal line, not letting anything through. As Crate's now able to get the counter attack. J-Rod couldn't get the touch, but Mealy can. J-Rod going for the 50 on his own teammate with a nice little bump there, but Trotz able to get a nice catch, and that's a good touch from Mealy. Polash with a nice touch as well. Mealy continuing the pressure, though, down to J-Rod. J-Rod with a nice touch down to Mealy. Oh, he doesn't come through, but Trotz showing off the defense here on the goal line. It's where you want to be if you're Trotz.
Yeah, it is, but it's not gonna matter in the end, as after all these beautiful saves that they put in, we saw Polash have one too right after Trott's first initial one. Pass comes out, creates not the greatest touch. That one's gonna find a way over to Mealy, and Mealy is going to make them pay. And now, with a minute 20 left, Flip, we have a 1-goal game.
Yeah, and Trotz trying to pull off the Cuxer pinch. Almost does, by the way. That would have been kind of nasty, as now Crates try to pinch it out towards the midfield himself. And Snowstorm, they're like, hey, I feel like I've get some deja vu here. This isn't how the script's supposed to go. It's not supposed to just be so readable like this. But maybe a comeback in Griffin from the Gryphons. Yeah, it might be in the cards here. Instead, Snowstorm going to try to continue the pressure. Crates now a lot of time. A lot of time to buy, as both of his teammates went for the ball, and so Crate's doing a good job letting his teammates get some boost and rotate back, but Trotz says, I don't want to rotate back. He'll go for that ball and leave Polash last back. Trotz now with a little bit of time himself. Mealy, not a great touch. Trotz get a good 50, staying in that corner, 35 seconds left, and a double commit from the Gryphons could be critical. Mealy gonna have a save, but zero boost to work with. A demo from Crates now. It's just gonna be Mealy. He picks up 100. Mealy with a nice 50. Kiwi in the corner with them. Polash able to get another great 50. He's gonna go for a third. It's gonna be Trotz now able to get that ball cleared, and Kiwi's there. Pops that ball high. 10 seconds remaining. Kiwi has to get a touch here, trying to find his teammate Mealy. Mealy's there, but no, it's Crates gonna get there first, as Crates now has to waste 5 seconds. J-Rod gets faked out. Kiwi has no boost. Mealy has to put that one to the wall, and Trotz trying to hit it down. Mealy keeps it alive. Trotz gonna be there. A double commit. Kiwi, it's gonna fall. Snowstorm take game number 4. A 3-1 lead off of a huge performance from Trotz.
And the Gryphons, they had the most perfect opportunity there with about 8 to 10 seconds left. The pass came out. Mealy tried to put it into the back of the net. Snowstorm, none of them had more than 15 boost. I think 2 of them had 0 boost, and still unable to find the back of the net. So we do see Gryphons down 1-3 in this series. They are going to take their timeout, rightfully so. And hopefully they can take this timeout. They can talk about really just focusing on being aggressive. We saw in that game win that they had that they were just super aggressive. They weren't aggressive the whole time. They had to earn it. They let themselves get down early. However, once they started turning it on and being fast and just putting the pressure on Snowstorm couldn't handle it. So they need to get back to that same play style here.
Yeah, and I like it's the demos, it's the pressure, it's the pass. Um, so that's kind of the way Griffins need to play. I will say it's hard to do. It's not like, oh, just do it, duh. I mean, like we saw a great counterattack, like literally a pass up to Polash. Polash sends it down to Trots. Trots finishes it like immediate. And you get counterattacked like that. You start thinking in your head, so should I challenge this ball as third man? Like, should I shoot this? What if I miss? Like, what if they get the save and there's a counter and it's then you start overthinking a little bit. And, man, sometimes speed, you just gotta be dumb. Like I feel like this Griffin team just needs to be a little dumb. Like, man, I don't care what you're doing. I'm gonna challenge. I will say though, they need to be smart in their passes. Like they just need to go, but then they need to look for an infield pass because I feel like the infield passes have been working great. We saw a great one. I think it was game 2 or game 3. I don't know. It was one of the games where Kiwi dimed up Mealy. I think it was descended to overtime. It was a great shot, a great pass. And this last game, like one of the only goals was a great infield pass, and that was after Trots and Polash just had insane saves. So the infield passing and a little bit of dumbness, in my opinion, just kind of just going. Those are two, in my opinion, the key things. There's also the physicality where it's like, oh, okay, I can't hit the ball, but I'll hit the player. There's a lot of things, in my opinion, that the Griffins could be doing better, and I've seen them do better. So there's a lot of ways that they can really make up this deficit. And why not start out with a nice little Kiwi goal?
A nice little Kiwi goal to start it off very early in this one. They came out. The timeout clearly has worked. We saw J-Rod. He went up early for that ball, was able to follow it up, get the double tap, left it there for Kiwi. And Kiwi, Elix, yes, he still took his time. We saw him do that earlier, but it was a more purposeful soft touch taking his time, as now J-Rod trying to get their second goal early in this one, but that one is going to be sent away by Polash. And I think you hit it on the head right here. They're playing dumb. They are challenging. They are going for it. They know their season is on the line, and why not just go out trying your hardest?
Yep. Throw the kitchen sink. Throw your body into it. Kiwi trying to throw a shot on net. Kiwi, why don't you? A great pass from Mealy. Kiwi is just there. He plays just close enough. First, it was that great 50 from J-Rod to get that first goal. Now Kiwi just close enough to get that shot on from Mealy's pass. It's a unlucky 50 on the side of Snowstorm. But if you're Kiwi, you're in the right place at the right time. Put the ball away, and that's what he does. And Kiwi not wanting to go down without a fight. Snowstorm, they got to put up a fight here in this game. They don't, you don't want to give momentum to this Griffins team. Like, that's what they can really work with. Snowstorm trying to get the ball clear, trying to get a counter started. Trot's gonna hit that one to the side while J-Rod a little pushed up too far, but good touch there. Able to send it back to his own corner, pass it out to Mealy as well. Mealy trying to get a 50 crates literally on top of that one, as now he's gonna pass it down to Polash, and Kiwi couldn't get there, but Polash's shot is not on target. Trot's now hitting that one to the corner. J-Rod pops that one high to Mealy. Mealy touchdown field. Trot's gonna have a touch going for the psycho. Not gonna happen there as Crates now with a touch, and Kiwi with a nice controlled touch, but Polash already on top of that one. Now Mealy up. Not a lot of boost on the side of Snowstorm, and a bump as well, but Crates with a nice save. J-Rod pushed up a little too far, has to make a touch, and Crates is there. Crates now going for the air dribble. Gonna look for the 50 as well. Trot's gonna be there. He gets it around 2. Can he get it around Kiwi? Kiwi elects not to go. A great decision from Kiwi, but he's awkward. Oh, and the Snowstorm boys didn't expect that one. An awkward play there, but it's the Griffins, they're kind of on the back foot a couple times, but they've held strong so far, and their offense is still cooking with gas.
They really are. And, it's super unfortunate. The one great opportunity that Snowstorm had, they weren't expecting a miss to come out from the end of the Griffins, as, they still have plenty of time, though. There's still 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. They've, withstood now this pressure from the Griffins after letting up 2 early goals. So they just really need to try to find one fairly soon and just, really show the Griffins that they're still in this game and they are still in the driver's seat for this series.
Yeah, Griffins trying to continue the pressure here as Kiwi just continuously touching the ball. It's going to leave that one for Mealy, as Mealy's shot going to be just wide. It's going to hit the post, and it's going to be a great bounce for Tross, and not a great bounce for Kiwi, but Kiwi's already on top of it. Crates now, last man, just has to try to pass it over to Polash, but there's no Polash there anymore. Kiwi with the demo, Mealy with the touch. Mealy, nice control here, going to try to look for the infield pass, and, he was taking notes. His teammates weren't. Kiwi, he's not going to get the touch on that one, but Polash's shot just high, the bounce not in his favor. Tross now with a good control, but Kiwi says, no thank you, I'll take a goal instead. Polash, you can't get there, buddy. I already know it. That's in the back of the net. Kiwi with the hat trick.
And again, a beautiful look that's going to turn into a counterattack here. Great 50, great dunk here coming up by Kiwi. And Kiwi, he's going to find himself a hat trick. Now, almost every time he's touched the ball, he's got 300 points worth of goals here and only 400 points, 420 points in the game. Almost every time he's touched this ball, it's been a goal, as he's going to touch the ball again and he's going to find himself a fourth goal.
Yeah, 4 shots, 4 goals. He just this is what he does. It's a little back of the net action. It's about time, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, Gryphons, they needed this offense speed, and guess what? It was delivered not from J-Rod, who I really expected to be the guy to score all the goals. That's what he's been doing all season, but instead it's gonna be from ya boy Kiwi. Now it's gonna be Polash putting that one away, saying, "Hey, we're still here. The game's not over yet, guys. And we have a chance. Yada yada yada." Yeah, it's a good shot here. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great read there by Polash. He was up to it quick. He puts a powerful shot on net. But the biggest thing there was Kiwi read that the whole way. He could see Polash having an attempt, and he elects to not even really put a hand up. He just watches go over his head here. As I would at least like to see him jump and attempt to make a save after he just picked up that corner boost. But they're still in the driver's seat. They're still up 3 goals. Trot's trying to find Crates in the corner, but Crates just wants the boost, and he was looking to get out.
Yeah, I think it might have been a pass to Creed's battle. It passed to Polash, and Polash got too close. I don't know. There's a lot of Snowstorm players on my screen. I can't lie. Maybe too many. I feel like they were all, just sometimes you need to spread out a little bit. But it's gonna be a good touch from Crates and a good demo from Polash. And hey, maybe it's not over quite yet as Crates puts that one in the back of the net. And the Gryphons, you're still up 2, but you can't be getting aggressive like that.
No, you can't, but it also doesn't help. I mean, he was in a decent spot. If he didn't get demoed, he would have been there to collect that ball. But Polash, doing what Polash has done this season, really, really good at picking up those back pick demos. As we see there, he picks up the back pick on the third man, leaving that wide open. And now with a minute and 5 to go, it's only a 1-goal game. As Polash gonna find himself a goal here, as I don't know how Mealy missed this. It just he gets a touch. It just goes under him still.
I'm begging. I'm begging for Mealy's sake, for his mentality. I'm hoping that this man is able to not lose this game, because going down or going up 4-0, and then losing and getting eliminated from playoffs would be more than sad. J-Rod's got to make the save here, and he does. 50 seconds remaining. Trots now with a good 50, but J-Rod's going to be on top of that one, able to get the clear. Crates now, last man back, going to leave that boost because he already has 100. Crates now, 1 touch. Going to try to look for a Polash. Polash was getting absolutely destroyed on his way to that ball. Trots just has to clear it off his own corner, and J-Rod's already on top of it, and Polash just a little quicker. Kiwi, last man back. Kiwi going to get an awful touch. Oh my goodness, could have been devastating, but instead it does get saved away. Kiwi and J-Rod combine for a nice pinch. Mealy's downfield. Mealy, he wants to put this one away. Crates with the save. J-Rod, he puts it away. 19 seconds left. Gryphons are not going home yet.
J-Rod hasn't been too active in the goal scoring category in this series, but that one right there, probably the biggest goal for the Gryphons in this series so far. Snowstorm battled back, got 3 unanswered goals, was really forcing and threatening with putting you out of misery here, but they're still looking to, as that one's middle, but Crates is going to send it just wide, and I think that's going to give this game here to the Gryphons and giving them even more life in this series, and that's not what you want if you're a Snowstorm fan.
Yeah, J-Rod puts that one to the side. Could have been another goal, to be honest, but let's relax here, Pete. I mean, like, that was a scare. Like, let's not act like this Snowstorm team ain't feeling confident in themselves right now. They're like, hey, if we didn't give up 4 dumb goals, then we probably could have won that game. But I mean, then there's a whole what if scenario that you could do with that one. But it was a great performance by Kiwi. That man had 530 points in about 3 minutes. Then 30 points the rest of the game. But it was a great 4-goal performance from him. 4 goals, 5 shots. He did what he needed to do. Every touch of his felt like gold. Or should I say it felt like gold? Anyway, it was a great performance for the Gryphons. Also, shout out Mealy. He's been assisting all season. Got 3 assists here. J-Rod had 2 himself. So Storm were able to make that comeback speed, but man, I don't know. I feel like the Gryphons, dude, like, that's like getting scored on like 3 goals like that. That's me, I'm nervous. I'm not gonna cap. If I'm Gryphons, I'm feeling a little hesitant here, and we're on to game 6 speed. I had Snowstorm in 7. You had Gryphons? I don't remember, to be honest, but, right now, we're on Forbidden Temple. Anything can happen, but who do you got taking this one?
I still have the Gryphons. I think they're starting to play well,
Do
but
you?
that's not going to bode well for my prediction here, as Krates, 2 seconds in, is going to find himself a goal off of a beautiful kickoff here by Polash.
Yeah. Great kickoff, great shots. J-Rod, that's why we always turn back to net whenever you go for corner boost. Everybody take notes, pull out your pens, go back to net whenever you go for corner boost. Do not turn upfield. You will never get scored on. Anyway, that was a great shot, great capitalization. Trotz now trying to get a double touch. Trotz, you don't hit these. Let's relax. Kiwi not going to get the touch either, as Krates now going to go for the challenge, and J-Rod with a good 50. That one going to get sent down to Polash. Mealy gets the boost grab, though, so Kiwi's able to go with full confidence. Gets a nice first touch. Trotz has to clear that one over to Polash, and Polash is able to get a banger clear right over J-Rod's head. Mealy is helping him out, though. He's already back, and Krates gonna leave, or not gonna touch on that one. Polash is gonna try to pass over to Trotz. Mealy with a nice pre-jump save. Polash now gonna pop that one high, and Kiwi just has to get one touch on it. Mealy trying to chase it down, but Krates is able to get a long clear. Krates now trying to get the follow-up. Not gonna happen there. Polash gonna wait and respect J-Rod's touch, as Polash now up in the air, gets a beat on Kiwi. Mealy now not a great touch. Trotz with a great 50, though. Trotz trying to get that follow-up, and he does, but now he has to just try to pass it down. It's going to be J-Rod passing it down to Krates. Krates was waiting for that one to the ceiling. Krates going to try to get another one. Mealy kind of awkward. Guess who's going to be there? It's going to be Kiwi, actually. Polash, I saw him coming, but Kiwi out of nowhere able to make that save, and Trotz now grabs the boost, dodges the bump, and gets the save. Great play there from him. Now he's trying to get a touch past Mealy, and he does, as Polash now trying to get the follow-up touch. More pressure here from Snowstorm, and a bump comes through. Trotz with a good challenge, but Krates is always in the right spot, Speed. And this is what I've noticed. It's this in the midfield. Yeah, I feel like it's always Krates that's there to continue the pressure for Snowstorm, or back off and play a safe third man. I feel like Krates is the one making the right decisions every time. Now he's got to make the right decision here. He gets a nice touch there. That one gonna bounce out. Trotz gonna take that one from Polash. Gets a nice 50. And 2 minutes into this game, Speed, we've had a lot of pressure here from Snowstorm, but it's going to be a Mealy goal. I can't pass it to you because Mealy is going to pass it to the back of the net.
Yeah, and I don't think that was the greatest decision there by Krates in the midfield, as he is going to be the one to ultimately send that up off of his backboard and put his teammate in trouble, Polash, on the back line. And now we see Gryphons tie this one up. 3 minutes left now. Still plenty of ball game, but we still haven't seen enough pressure coming out from the Gryphons to really be worried here, as iTrot's going to answer right back.
Yeah, a great shot here from Trotz, but man, it's just a great touch. I mean, like, Mealy with 0 boost is one thing, like, on the backboard, and a great touch from Krates, and honestly, I mean, Trotz just kind of slotted that thing, can't lie, so it's just a really good play there from the Snowstorm boys, and off a kickoff again, it feels like. So Gryphons, if you clean up these kickoffs a little bit, maybe you wouldn't be down 2 goals, but if ifs and buts for candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Now Trotz able to get a clear, only as far as Krates, but Polash and Krates double commit could be awkward. Trotz already up in the air with a great touch, but Mealy was waiting. He didn't want to go for that ball. He wanted to go for the follow-up, and he's there with a shot, but that one was high, as Krates also able to get a clear and a save. Trotz now with some boost. Trotz down to the sidewall. Trotz now looking for a pass mid. He's trying to get the dunk down on J-Rod. J-Rod with no boost, still able to get a beautiful shot. Krates, it looked on my screen like he got a ghost touch, but man, Trotz able to get the touch, and no demo coming out the Polash. Man, Speed just so close from Snowstorm, but a great shot from J-Rod.
Yeah, Krates getting a little excited there, as normally that's a play that Trotz is able to get a good dunk on, but he hits it a little too far out in front of him, and Krates should have just realized and been a little more patient. But again, it's not going to matter, as Trotz getting the answer mere seconds after letting up the equalizer.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you hear me say kickoff goal? Like, before kickoff, like, I don't know if that came through. I said kickoff goal, there it is, because, I mean, like, I'm not saying it's readable, but, man, Rockerman did not do a great job with the script. Kickoff goals is how they're going to lose. That's kind of sad, but it's going to be J-Rod trying to, change the script a little bit. Mealy, he gets beat. Oh, great play there from Polash. Now he's going to try to get a dunk. Now J-Rod, I think he was going for the bump or the redirect. Either way, he didn't do anything with it. Now he's going to be back for that touch there, as he's trying to get it around 2 when he does. Trotz last man back, though. Gonna get a good nice 50 on Kiwi as that bolt launched so far. Krates with not a lot of boost to work with, sends that one to the corner. Melee gonna have the clear. Polash up, but Kiwi is also, oh, Krates missed the boost, so he couldn't turn on this one as Melee now gets 50 by Krates still as Kiwi up. It's a beat on one. Trots. He's back, gets a nice touch high, but that ball gonna get followed by J-Rod. That ball bouncing up high, but it's gonna be Polash beating out Melee and could be a counterattack opportunity. Great shot, not great, but Trots over to Krates again. Oh my goodness, it ramps off the post, hits the crossbar, and a little unlucky from Snowstorm. It was a great counterattack opportunity. Could be another one here as Krates racing for that one. Trots had a great 50. J-Rod to the corner, gets his boost stolen. Polash gonna get one touch. Polash now gonna try to find the pass. Trots not able to get the touch. Krates last man. Krates gets beat. Kiwi gets the goal.
Yeah, Krates has looked great as an aggressive first man slash middle man, but when he's been third man, he hasn't made the greatest decisions. And I think the Gryphons are really starting to notice that and are trying to put themselves in position where Krates is being third man back and just hoping they can put up these 50-50 balls
Yeah,
and
hopefully they can get a good 50. Oh, go ahead.
have him just make the wrong decision as he's done that quite a few times in this game, let alone.
You know what? It's been 5 seconds. They haven't been scored on. It's a miracle. I've seen the Gryphons not get scored on kickoff. It's about dang time. Melee now with 0 boost. Able to get a touch as that one's going to get sent to the corner by Krates. Polash now trying to get the clear. That one going to get sent to the sidewall. Trots with one touch trying to get a follow-up. It's going to be Polash with 0 boost. That's a great shot, Kiwi. They want to make a great save, though. Good positioning there from him. Krates little feels backflip, man, but instead it helps him out a little bit as that ball going to be floating towards the midfield. Trots has a chance to snipe it. Does he? Of course he does. That bottom left corner, 34 seconds left. That could be the dagger.
That could be the dagger, as all three of Trot's goals in this game have been responses to the Gryphons tying it up. Normally it was a little quicker, but either way, Trotz has been sniping these goals on these shots that he's had so far.
Yeah, it's not a great touch there as Krates almost capitalized on that one. Trots just gonna not get that one on target as Melee ran a little bit of a disruptor there. A good demo though, and that's gonna be an open net. And that is gonna be it. That's gonna be the series in my. I mean, there's 19 seconds left. I'm not gonna call the series. Let's chill out a little bit. A great play can happen from the Gryphons, but man, Snowstorm, they're putting some nails in this coffin.
Yeah, they really are. Melee doesn't have a lot of boost to come off that ceiling, looking for that pass, and it was just super readable. And it didn't help that Trotz picked up that demo and just left that backfield wide open. Gryphons need to answer now if they want to try to force this to overtime.
No fat lady is singing yet, but Trots is pretty dang close. Is that one not going to be in? Polash, though, he's going to put it away, and Trots wasn't singing, but yeah, the series is over. The game is over. It's going to be Snowstorm in the finals facing, I don't know who. It could be any team. Speed, I have no idea who's going to make it to the finals. But there's 4 seconds left in this one. A great series by both teams. I think honestly, I was really impressed with the way Melee played. I felt like he was just the most calm and composed on his team. Kiwi also played really well. I wish J-Rod popped off. We saw him pop off in the quarterfinals. So I wanted to see a little pop off here, but give credit to Snowstorm defense. One, I think their defense played extremely solid. This game, I mean, they had so many shots that they didn't need to play defense. I mean, this game there was 9 goals, but throughout the series, I feel like their defense was the biggest reason they won this series. So great series, nonetheless. Though, and Speedman, been great casting with you. That was just a fun series to watch.
Yeah, it really was fun. Like you said, super unfortunate. I thought J Rod, wasn't playing to his full potential. Um, and he really was, the big piece in their quarterfinal win. So to see him come out and not look as good as he did, super unfortunate. But they still put up a great effort. But yes, Snowstorm gonna move on to the grand finals. They're gonna have to wait until Wednesday to see who they're squaring off against. It's gonna be last year's grand finals rematch between Samurai and Venom that they're gonna wait upon. But again, we are slightly running behind schedule flip. So I'm not going to keep on rambling here. And, we're going to get ready for our next match.
Yeah, we'll see you guys back in just a couple minutes. Doses.